episode 11 of the Polaris X podcast. How's it going, guys? How's everybody's week? What's going on in the world of Polaris X?
Welcome to our world. You're even lucky to be in this world.
So, how was your week, John?
Oh, it was good. I did not much throughout the week, but on the weekend, I pretty much rehearsed with all the bands I'm in and stuff. So, my sister just sent me a text, so now I have to give her shit and say, "Don't fucking text me now." But other than that, not much. On Monday, I'm helping with a move. My grandparents, pretty much, I go there like once a week now because they're getting old. So,
They're moving to an old folks' home or just to
Oh,
an apartment?
yeah, yeah. So basically, I help them whenever they need me. So I'm doing that on Monday and
Helping the grandparents,
helping the world.
helping the world. What about you, Diego? How was your week?
I'm doing good. I got my shot for COVID. First shot yesterday.
Safe
Yeah,
man.
for safe man. Yeah, I got my arm was a bit sore, but other than that, like now it's like almost pretty much healed. Like it was just sore all day today, and like now it's pretty much fully recovered. Like I can like move it a bit. It just feels like somebody just punched you in the arm. But
Everyone,
what
everyone has said that it feels like your arm does get sore the next day, but for a
what's
bit.
weird about it though is that as soon as you get it, it feels like nothing happened, and then
Mhm.
6 hours later, you feel your arm getting like sore. I look like Jesus in this light. Jeez.
Holy shit, you look pale. You look
Yeah.
like in Twilight when Edward he exposes himself and he looks like a disco ball shining.
And are you an angel?
Are you an angel? Yeah, but other than that, just school stuff, and that's about it. Yo, Impaler SD, welcome back. Hope you're doing well,
Impala.
man. How's it going with you, Justin?
I'm trying to pull up the Twitch stream, but my fucking Wi-Fi won't connect. That's so lame.
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi is lame ass Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Dude, my week's been pretty good, but I have not. Actually, no, that's a lie. My week has been pretty dog shit.
What the fuck?
It's been it's just been waking up at like 4 a.m. and then going to a construction site in Longueuil. That's
Oh,
really far and just so out of my way. And doing 8-hour shifts, they pass by fast, which isn't too bad, but I'm just glad it's the weekend. But even then, my weekend's been pretty not the best because I've just been doing yard work at my grandmother's house. So
oh.
your poor boy just can't get a fucking break for himself.
There's
But
a.
what's that?
I was just gonna say, there's no rest for the wicked, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I
Oh
have it on and
yeah.
it just delayed.
Nice. I'm watching it too, and it's so weird to like
See
Just
see
yourself
yourself.
delayed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
No,
just
I
like,
just
oh
have it
god.
like on the side, so it's like whatever.
I'll try that. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Bro, I'm watching myself in the stream and I just see myself do that real quick. That's so surreal. Oh
Wait,
my
six
god.
people, but three of them are us. So that means, yeah, but that means three people are watching.
Yeah. No, and we got Impaler SD in the chat too. Yo,
Iconic,
iconic.
iconic. What
I
else
got
did I
nothing in the chat. I don't know.
get? Ugh, my
Oh.
balls.
Oh,
Alright.
okay, now there we go. I see like he posted something that looks like a Hispanic guy or something.
Hispanic chat.
Hispanic chat and Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre, yo, that movie, underrated, right? Come on,
Bro, I've only seen it once and it was pretty
Nacho.
entertaining.
what a good movie.
What was it about again? Just remind me.
Nacho Libre, he's like a janitor at a school or like an orphanage, I think. I'm not sure. Or like he went to the orphanage as a kid and then he worked there when he got older. But his dream is to be like a wrestler or something, but he wants to win a wrestling competition so he could give back to the orphanage, I think. I'm probably wrong on that. Maybe someone from the chat knows it a bit more than I do. But
Nacho
but if
Libre.
if there's one thing about that movie is it's just like iconic scene after iconic scene. Like every scene, there's just something, you know. So
What was the best scene from there? I don't
oh
remember.
my
I've
god,
seen
there's
it
so
once.
many. There's like an eagle scene when he goes on a boat and he has to drink the egg, but he has to like go up this huge hill, like and like he climbs all the way up and then he like breaks the egg, he drinks it, and then he like falls off and it's pretty good. But like the way the egg yolk falls on his face, like I think it just like leaks all over, and he's like,
Oh, that's
Double egg.
anyway,
nasty.
yeah,
Oh, I might
yeah, but
rewatch
it's
it.
so good.
I've never watched that movie. You guys are gonna hate me. I've never seen
You
that
gotta
movie
watch Nacho
before.
Libre. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Impale RSD says he was working with the nuns and he also looked up to a wrestler. Did he
Oh,
end up
okay.
fighting the wrestler at the end?
Yes.
He did. Oh, okay, bro. Well, one day, Diego, you and I will you'll visit Nacho Libre. I'll revisit it because for me, it's gonna be like the first time watching
Yeah.
it.
Yo,
Yeah,
movie night with the boys. Polaris X
movie
movie
night.
Nacho
night.
Libre. Yo, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Soon.
It won't be like a dog show, and he always wanted to be. Yeah, okay. I was just reading from the chat too what he
Yeah.
says. Dude, it'll actually be a decent movie this time. That's not like the Officer Greg movie as you called it. I don't even
Yeah.
remember what was it called again,
Last of the grads.
bro. What a
That's funny.
bad movie.
Not even a movie.
We're
You know.
not. They're still not over it yet. How bad it was. It's a week
No,
later.
this might be something I'll have to go to a therapist one day. I'm like, man, my friend made me watch this really shitty movie that's it's messed up my psyche ever since.
It all started when I was a young boy.
When I was a young 21-year-old. My friend made me watch this inoffensive dog shit movie. Anyways, but yeah, so that's our week and Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the podcast.
So,
So,
as you guys know, every week we each rotate of who writes the episode. So this week it was Justin's turn to write this episode of what the topics we cover are, and one of the topics, just I don't know if you want to explain what the,
yeah, let me pull
yeah,
up the just the script just
yeah.
so I know
So
where the fuck we're at.
so
I want to try saying the
yeah,
title too.
we had to cut one of the topics because it was a bit too crude, for me personally, like. But we're gonna talk about an album just because it's funny.
I
So
find it's too funny to script. So, anyways, for any Portuguese fans out there, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna butcher it. The title is called Emocos Sexuais de Cavalo. I'm gonna let you guys process that. So, I found out about this video from like remember I was telling you guys about that conspiracy iceberg tier list back
yeah,
when we were talking about that? The same guy, he made a tier list for disturbing movies. And there's ones that I knew about, like the first ones were like Chucky or like the wasn't Friday 13th, and then it kept going to Guinea Pig and all the other ones, and it got to tier 8, which is just pure snuff films. And for some reason, this one was there, and I saw Cavallo because well, what's horse in Italian? Is it the same thing?
yeah, it's the same thing pretty much.
As
Cavallo.
soon as I saw Cavallo, I didn't even need to see the sexual part. I was like, oh, it's horse
Yeah,
porn. I
yeah.
know it. So back at we did research. Diego accidentally did more research. So
No comment. No comment.
so if you go on Reddit, just don't click any of the links. That's all. That's all. That's the
Don't
biggest warning we can give.
don't do what I did and click the link, because it'll
So
take you to somewhere you don't want to be.
this was what the 80s
Oh, probably earlier.
earlier. Well, sometime like decades before now, there Brazil was under a dictatorship, And in order to make sure their people wouldn't be influenced by outside sources, they decide, you know what, we'll make our own state-made films and whatever, just to keep people all with the Brazilian culture. For
Mm.
some reason, they saw that there was a market for horse porn. And wow, bro, I don't even know what to say about that's just so messed up that they would cater to a market. Like,
Yeah. In other words, the Brazilian government produced and funded a horse porn and released it to the
Also,
public because apparently there was a market for it. So there you
this is
go.
like a bit of a side note, I guess. But why would it be on a tier list like that?
because it's like of disturbing films, and
Okay.
I
Yeah,
f-
yeah.
and I feel like that's just
And this was at the top or at the bottom, however
this
you
is
want
at
to
the
see it.
bottom. This is
Yeah.
the last tier, dude. That's not even disturbing. That's just so depraved.
Yeah. Just it's
Uh,
fucked. Anyways, yeah.
Diego accidentally watched it.
I, ex- I didn't watch it.
Watch
I skimmed through it
Skip
because
through.
I wanted to understand what the fuck this was. So he puts this text of the just the title and like a few links to follow in the script, right? So today I was doing research before the podcast started, and okay, I don't know what this is, so I have to search it up. So I land on this Reddit post, and I scroll down. I'm starting to look at the comments of what the heck this is about, and I just see like a few keywords floating around, like horse and like just a bunch of Portuguese words. And I'm Portuguese. You think I understand? Like I'm half Portuguese. You think I'd understand that? But no, I don't speak Portuguese to my grandparents. I speak to them in French. But that's a different story. Uh,
What?
yeah, yeah. It's weird. Anyways, but yeah. So I didn't understand any of it, and so I click on one of the links in the comments, and it takes me to this movie. And then it's like an hour long. I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is what Justin wants to talk about. Let's skip through the movie. So I'm skimming through it. All of a sudden, a giant horse cock shows giant horse cock shows up in the thing. I go, what the fuck was that? Skip more, skip more. I don't want to see this. And then there's another link that Justin had put, and it was a YouTube video talking about it, which is I think what he wanted us to see. So I ended up watching that, and then I understood what why this was funny to talk about in the first place. And I was like, oh my god, this is like
I didn't
ridiculous.
know there was links in the comment. I just wanted you
Yeah,
guys to just look at the big post.
yeah,
The fact that you found a link, uh,
yeah,
did you not read the title and see cavallo and sexual or
yeah.
sexual?
But
I don't.
I wasn't thinking. I was just clicking. I was just
Yeah,
not
see that
thinking.
that's your first mistake.
Yeah, that's my first and last mistake. I hope. Anyways,
So
so
This marks Diego's the first person out of this group to watch horse porn.
to skip through horse porn. Yeah, if you want to
I like how
fucking
you're just like horse cock. Oh my god!
skip, skip, skip.
But
I want to see
in
this.
a movie, is it just horse porn or it's like a film
It's like a
that
whole
has
film. It's like
stories? Okay,
a
so
horror film,
story line.
but there's fucking horse.
I know
Yeah,
that it has to do with this guy that has HIV. Somewhere in there, it mentions that like some weird shit.
heartwarming stories. It's like I can only make love to a horse because I
And
can't
it's
make
all
love
in
to.
Portuguese too. There's no
Uh, on a
subtitles.
on a side note of that, my mom actually told me there's these people she'd hang out with, and for some reason, I don't know where or even how. I don't even want to know how they got this cassette. It was of horse porn,
Oh jeez.
and they didn't play it because they liked it, but they would play it just they would put it on, and then they'd call my mom and say, "Hey, there's something weird happening to the TV," and she would go and she'd be like, "Oh my god, turn that
Oh,
off!" And they did that multiple times.
to prank your
That's
mom with
probably
that.
like an underground thing where these people film it and then they like I
Yeah,
don't know.
in the middle of a fucking Quebecois village. I didn't even know there was black
Oh,
markets there.
like it was filmed here.
I don't know where it was
No.
filmed, but just
Oh,
where
so
where they
yeah.
where
Who
they
even
got this.
It's probably like just two guys on a farm and they just film all their animals have sex with each other, and then they like ship just all of the tapes out around the world to just make a bunch of money off it.
But isn't that illegal?
Yeah.
That is so wrong on so many
Yeah.
levels.
Why would that be like like bestiality?
Bro,
Right.
it's not even it's illegal, not even for the legal aspect, it's the fact that they would film it. That is the most depraved thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, so that was a good intro.
Yeah. Hope you got a nice laugh out of that, but
Bro,
it was just funny
that
to
that
talk
might have
about.
been the best starting topic.
Anyways, let's move on to the actual meat of this podcast. Let's go to the agoraphobic nosebleed album review.
Oh, the hammer.
Fuck, I just stole your intro. I forgot about that.
I know you've done that a few times, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's because I have to fucking like fade the shit in. Okay, go. You do it.
Hold on. Oi, 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 oi. Welcome to The Hammer, where we review rock and metal albums all throughout the decades. Today, in Grind We Crust, we got our first grindcore band that we're reviewing, and it's a personal favorite of mine. One that I almost saw live, and I'm so mad that I missed them.
Oh
We're
shit.
reviewing Agorapocalypse by Agoraphobic Nosebleed.
The hammer.
This band, they're a grind band, but they've done so many styles. They've done grindcore, they've done power violence, which is like it's similar to grindcore in the speed and intensity aspect, but with more punk influences. They've done hardcore, they've done sludge, they've done thrashcore, which is what this album mainly is, and we'll touch a little bit on that. So they're all over the spectrum, and the guitarist is actually from my favorite grindcore band, Pig Destroyer. So they just mean so much to me. What did you guys
Yeah.
think of this of this album? Just like what were you expecting going into this?
John, you go first.
Well, I've obviously heard of the name, right, beforehand, but in terms of this kind of vibe, I only listen to maybe like two or three bands in this vibe when I do. But I have to say I was fucking impressed. Like I enjoyed it a lot, and I feel like this album does kind of have the issues that I find like the other bands that have the same vibe. I noticed for me, it's hard to distinguish song to song unless you really like hear the album every day for like a month, let's say,
Hmm.
right? Then you'll get the hang of it eventually, and like you'll know how the songs work and stuff like that. But I haven't really checked out the band well until this week. So, but like I was impressed. I mean, I thought it was fucking great. It was just balls to the wall. The drum machine work. I mean, I know it's a drum machine, but like the drum machine work, I was so impressed. Like, Justin, why are you leaving?
Where is he going?
Wait.
Is he coming to
Fuck.
my room? He's just gonna show up on this
Yeah,
side.
exactly. He just comes out with like,
Like,
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Wait. Just continue talking. I'm listening. Unless you got anything, Diego, you say what you were expecting from
oh
this
god.
band.
oh wait, sorry. Yeah, so I essentially was expecting what I heard. I mean, there wasn't something that was weird or that threw me for a loop or anything. I pretty much expected like an album that just hit your nuts really hard, and
There
it
you go.
did. So
Agoraphobic. This is not the album we're reviewing. I just want to show my agoraphobic vinyl.
He gets up to go get it.
That's why you guys are like, what the fuck is he going? What were you expecting, Diego, going into this?
I was expecting a full Justin album coming into this full Justin taste,
Define what that means.
which means just fucking
right,
blast. What'd you say, John? Yeah,
all, it's
just
like all grind.
Yeah, just fucking saw blades and blast beats and like loud guitar.
So-
That's what I was expecting going into this. And it is a name that I've heard Justin throw around a few times, but I didn't actually know what it meant. I also heard about this band through Eric Andre, uh, which was I was watching an Eric Andre interview, and like he mentioned this band. He thought, not he thought, he said that he wanted uh, the band to perform live
yeah.
on his show, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. And again, that's like those are just a few instances that I've heard this band, but this week I actually listened to what this band was, and let me tell you, it's a lot of technical stuff. And I thought that it was all human people doing this. I just found out recently that it was a drum machine, which makes more sense.
Mm.
Um, but overall, the drumming is like phenomenal throughout the whole record.
This isn't even their most intense like drumming. Like there's not even that many blast beats for this album. If you listen to the other ones, it just sounds inhumanly like it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, if they tried to recreate that live with an actual drummer, I promise you the
Good
result would
luck.
not be as great. Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah,
The
fair
way
enough.
I discovered this band was it's so weird saying this. I used to hate grindcore and like I wanted nothing to do with like screaming vocals and whatever. And when I first heard Prowler in the Yard by Pig Destroyer, which like I said before, this guitarist plays with that band, I was scared of it and I just didn't want anything to do with it. And I saw this band, I'm like, this is gonna be a shit tier band. Because I was like, I wanted to appreciate it. And so I typed in Google, I typed in grindcore on fucking YouTube, and this band came out with the opening song, and I was like, okay, this is different. I vibe with this. I'll go check it out. And I mean, fuck. I own their split with Converge, with Despise You. I have um I showed this what is this one
What is
called?
that?
It's their album Altered States of America. 20 minutes, 99 songs.
99. What the hell?
That's
Something
very grind.
retarded. Dude, that's super grind. I for Christmas I got Frozen Corpse stuff with Dope. And then this is the last album, Agorapocalypse. This is the last album I had. I wish I brought the CD. I'm so stupid.
Mm.
So I've just been.
John, yes, you are stupid.
Mm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. This one he's like,
You should have brought it.
I should have. Dude, I was even at my mom's house where I keep all my CDs, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oops. But yeah, what you were saying
Yeah,
that like you own a lot of stuff from this band.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I own as many things as I do with Pig Destroyer. Like I love this band.
Yeah. So what is
Yeah.
that? Is there's a member from Pig Destroyer that's on here, and that guy's in two bands, or what happened?
He's in
Yeah.
two bands. Scott Hall, he's the guitarist. He mainly plays in Pig Destroyer because Agoraphobic Nosebleed, their releases are really scattered and it's weird. So he mainly plays in Pig Destroyer, but this is like actually it's weird saying this because this band came before Pig Destroyer, I believe, which is weird. But everyone just associates him with Pig Destroyer more. So I mean he does both, and whenever they do play live, I mean he's there, and they actually bring the drum machine out on stage. Yeah, I'm just trying to find a lot. This band mainly associates with power violence. Like if you hear their stuff, it's a lot of the early stuff is pure grind, but a lot of power violence. But I mean they switch it up so fucking often. It's intense. They're really, especially on this album, they show a lot of hardcore influences, which I guess that's from the scene that they associate within that aspect of grind. Even though grind hardcore has always been in grind, they're so balls to the wall, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're so also how amazing is that album cover?
Yeah. The album art is really
Yeah,
cool.
Dude, the detail, the level. If I can get anything tattooed, like a full body tattoo, I'd get that on my back.
Mm.
Oh,
That would be so painful, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
That would cost an arm and a leg.
literally. Chop off your arm, chop off your leg, then add the tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be, look, this is my method of payment. I'll be a double arm amputee. Just I need this tattoo.
I need this album on the back, on my back.
And people are gonna look at it like, what is that? I'm like, oh yeah, shit. No one that I associate with listens so gorephobic.
It's grindcore.
Grindcore? Is that a type of pastrami? Like,
I have a question for
yeah.
you, Justin. Did you get into this band when we were like in like I guess I want to ask like how old were you when
When
like
you discovered it, yeah.
yeah.
I
'Cause-
was. It was in Sec 4. I found this
okay.
band, and then I hated grind. But Sec 5 going into Sec 5, I listened to Pig Destroyer nonstop, and it wasn't until like months and months and months and months later into Sec 5 that I finally checked out Agoraphobic Nosebleed. Because I always like to search up what bands the members were in. And I mean, I saw Scott Hall. I was like, okay, he's Pig Destroyer, but he also played in uh, Anal Cunt and a few other bands, and Agoraphobic. And I was like, give it a try, wacky ass name. And then I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I fell in love with them ever since.
Awesome, man.
And yeah, uh, just before we get into this review too, I know this is a grind band, but this release wildly different from the other ones.
Yeah, I
It,
wanted to, say that too about it. It is like they're a grind band. This doesn't entirely sound like an album made for that kind of a, thing. Like it's not a grind album. I wouldn't really call it a grind album. Like at times it sounds like a grind album, but for the most part, I mean, I feel like it's kind of all over the place, but in a a good way. Like I'm not, yeah. So
Wikipedia labels this as thrashcore, which is basically thrash metal with blast beats. I feel like that doesn't even deserve its own genre. That's just thrash metal, and you put the drumming as. That's like saying, oh well, we're this is a genre, Viking metal. It's like, okay, well, you play heavy metal, but you sing about this. That doesn't warrant a whole new fucking genre.
yeah,
Just wear a
But
funny hat. The Viking hat.
I gotta grow up my beard.
No, it's beard metal.
Beard metal. So I think we can get started into the review.
track by track, anyone? Okay.
No.
No, it's like
Yeah,
No, it's,
17
yeah, yeah.
songs.
I know, I
it's
know, I
like
know.
14 songs, yeah.
How many? Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We always gotta mention the intro. Just what a way to start an album.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's
Just
not on the link you sent me. It's I found a different version of the intro to this album, and it opens with Time Lord Zero, and that's like it was a different feel. I don't remember what the song sounds like, but I know it wasn't like the opening that you get in Agorapocalypse now. It wasn't like the big fade in, that you get.
what was Time Lord Zero?
I it was
Because
another
on
song that
this,
I found.
because on the CD it doesn't on my CD it doesn't play Time Lord Zero, and I search it up and I get nothing for it.
Oh, I
I'm
found it.
surprised. What the fuck?
Check that out.
Yeah, it was like
But
on a playlist of the songs of the album.
no, but the first real song is Agorapocalypse now. I know
Yeah.
that for sure. Which that
Oh,
fade in with
track
everything.
zero.
Yeah, it says track 0. That's why.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just
A
with
hidden
that
track, it says on
that huge
Wikipedia. So I
fade
don't
in. Oh,
know.
sorry.
No, go.
That
Sorry.
that huge fade in with dun, dun, and then the guitar's playing fast, and then that solo. You already
Yeah.
know what you're getting. You could tell
Yeah.
what you're getting from the album cover. It's just pure insanity. This intro represents the entire album, man. Oh, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great. Yeah, yeah.
All
The
right.
intro is really it really sets the tone for the whole album, and it's probably one of my favorite songs off the whole album, just because it's so like this is fucking the nosebleed you're gonna get from listening to us, you know, like that's the double bass on this whole album is crazy. And there's one song too where it's just a minute long drum solo that's like what the hell? It's just like drum
Oh
Oh,
pounding.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
not X Cop. It's not that one.
No, it's something
No,
else.
I
There's
think it might be Time Lord 2, but I know which one you're talking about. This
Yeah.
just 1 minute intro and
okay.
then and it continues.
Just the drum fills that are in that is like really cool too. He's got like cymbal chokes going on. He's got a bunch of like just all around the whole things and
I like how
the
you say
drum
he use. I like how you say he uses the
whatever.
symbol as
Machine.
if it's not a machine.
But I
Machine's a
mean,
guy.
for me,
Everything's a he to me.
the the highlight of this album for me, it's like a bit ironic, but it's not even a human. It's
Yeah.
the drum. Like I love that sound for some reason. It's just like because it's just like always like it's like it's on time. It's just so tight and it's so loud. So powerful, but it's fake.
I
Yeah.
know.
Like it's not real, but I just
Yeah.
fucking love it so much. I'm like, wow.
What do
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
on
feel about?
Question of Integrity. That's the song.
Oh, it's
Uh,
question. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not Time Lord. Oh, I was
No.
one off. Shit.
Yeah.
What did you guys feel? How do you want to do this? You want to do performance? We'll do, I guess, performance wise.
yeah, sure.
Um, what did you guys feel about the two vocalists? I think
I
there's two
loved it.
vocalists.
Yeah, too.
Honestly, I didn't even notice that there was two vocalists until the very end, where there was like one song. I was like, "Hey, are the vocals different here? Like this sounds like a
Yeah,
different singer." And only then did I realize that oh shit, there's more than one vocalist on this whole record. So
I
Wh-
I thought the
Which one?
vocals. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, no, no. You go first. You go first because it's gonna
Oh,
be another question. You go.
okay. I just wanted to say that I kind of liked how the vocals weren't so intense. Like they weren't just
yeah,
in your face like "Rah" vibe. It was like I could hear what the singer wants to say most of the time, and I kind of appreciate that. I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
I I noticed between the because the two vocalists, there's I think the guy's name's Randall. I could be very wrong.
Randy.
Randall.
You know, on this album at least, the way he does his vocals, he sounds more like he's in a hardcore band than a grind band.
Yeah.
Like it could be he could play in like fucking Black Flag or something. And then the female singer Cat Cats, she uses like way more screaming. She sounds way more just more freaking intense. Which one did you guys like? But which one did you guys like more, the male or female vocals?
You can go first, John. Go.
To be honest, I can't pick a favorite. I think they both, work in their own way, and I can't choose a favorite actually.
Yeah, to me, like I wasn't a fan of the either vocalist.
No.
Like it was
Get
just
out.
like for me metal, like I like metal, but this whole album, like okay, like I listened to the first two three songs, and then by the fourth song, it was just like it felt like it was getting repetitive, and it sounded like the whole thing, especially as a first time listener to grindcore, and this is like the introductory for me for grindcore as a whole. It's like I found it was too much. I found myself having to rewind because I kept zoning out of oh shit, this is a new song. Fuck, when does this song start? Oh, I just listened to three songs and I didn't even realize that
Yeah.
I skipped it. So I kept having to rewind. So the whole half hour album took me like 2 hours to listen to because I kept I kept rewinding because I didn't realize that it was a different song. I thought it was all one song. Especially at the beginning, like I even wrote it down. Like when I was zoning out. Like the first song was good, and then right at the end of Time Lord 1, and then I didn't realize it was a different song until Moral Distortion at like the end. And
Okay.
then I realized that, oh shit, this is a different song. And then, because with this album, you really have to, like, okay, I can't do anything else, I have to pay attention. And then, only then, when I found myself, okay, really paying attention and not like passive listening, I could understand, okay, this is this song, this is this song. And there's like a cue. Most of the songs end with like a guitar screech sound type of thing, like or whatever. And I didn't even realize that until I was actually like, okay, full focus, 100%. And I was like, oh, okay, this is the end of the song. Oh, okay, this is the end of the song. And I kept having to rewind just to understand what song was what, because they're
Mhm.
all short. They're all like a minute, 2 minute each.
Yeah, like
And
Time Lord 1 is 56 seconds, and then X Cop is 59. You have a few 2 minute, 3 minute, but then you got
59.
Trauma Queen. Trauma Queen's less than 2 minutes.
Trauma Queen. Nice
Uh,
song title.
yeah, I know. Uh, I will say this though, and you are very right. The song structure of like how it's placed, it's really there's sometimes where, well, for example, like you said, Time Lord 1, I'm going to say the full title because it's amazing. Time Lord 1, Loneliness of the Long Distance Drug Runner. When that song finished for the first time listening, I didn't realize that the next song, Dick to Mouth Resuscitation. What a title. I didn't realize that they were two separate songs because they blended so well.
Yeah.
It just sounded like one longer song. And that's one of the biggest things about grind too. It's either just it's one of its greatest aspects and it kind of shoots itself in the foot. There's
Yeah.
times where songs are just too short. It's supposed to be just a blast of just intensity. You're just like, but then there's just times where you're like, I wish I wanted more. I wish I could have gotten more from that. And I feel like they do at least even that out with the 3 minute and the 2 minute songs. But there are just times where I'm just like, it does feel like Diego said, a long song until it breaks to moral distortion at the end with the I heard musicians
Oh yeah,
can't
yeah.
play unless they're on drugs. And then it cuts into Hung from the Rising Sun. Excellent song.
I think like the unwritten rule of this vibe, and well, there's two things I want to add onto that, but like the unwritten rule to this whole sub thing is the songs have to be short. It's kind of how it is. I don't know why it is that way, but it's
That's
just
the style.
it's been that way. Yeah, and I had a second thought, and I'm trying to remember it now, and it's fuck, I can't remember it. Damn it. Sorry, guys.
It'll come back to you.
I had an
But
idea.
what I'm
Oh
gonna
well.
say is that the transitions between songs, they were too good. That's what I'm gonna say, because you don't realize that, especially if you're just passively listening to this, like I was. It was just like, oh wait, another song. Oh wait, another song. Like
Mhm.
it kept having to rewind and stuff. But yeah, that's basically my main points for
You
Oh,
this.
said a question. Oh,
Go,
sorry. You
John.
go,
Yeah,
John.
yeah, go, John.
I remember this because some of the other albums that kind of resemble this one are like really fast. This album is fast, but it's not like I wouldn't put this album as being known for it being fast, if that makes sense. Like it's a grind album, but it's not like one of those extremely fast ones. You know what I'm trying to say? If that makes sense.
It's grind, but it shows way more like thrash and hardcore influences.
Yeah, it's almost like more of it's a hardcore album. That's what it is. It's just hardcore.
Like I feel like if you took like DRI, and then you took something like fucking I want to say like Madball, but maybe something a little faster than
No,
Madball.
not all. Yeah,
Like some like a faster Madball. I feel like this was what this album would sound like with some grind in it.
yeah.
Uh, I, I do feel for the majority, I do feel like the songs are. I know, like Diego said, there's sometimes transitions are too good.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, he said it was Question of Integrity that had the drum solo. It was that one, right, D?
Yeah, that's right. There was question of integrity. That's just like the whole minute.
Drum solo. That one
Yeah.
I felt like just transitioned to Time Lord 2, like a little too good too, where I thought it was one song. Uh,
Yeah.
Songwriting wise too, I feel like as much as I like the album, I feel side A kind of after First National Stem and Cell Clone. Um, I do feel like not that it's filler, but it's not as oh, what would be the word for it?
I know what you're trying to say, but it's funny you mentioned that because I all like when it's so fucked up how you mentioned that because I found myself going back to the songs on side B more. Like, well, not side B, but
Really?
like the last 5 6 songs. I I kind of went back to those more than the first ones for some reason.
I kept going back to Agora, the first, the opening track. That's the song that I kept going back to.
Oh,
And there was another song, even the drum one, like just a minute drum solo, because I wanted to figure out like what the heck was happening. So I kept like re-listening to that one too. And there was a really fun part too that like I want to mention. There was yeah,
In
even
question?
yeah, in Question of Integrity, the way that song opens, it sounds like Nirvana's In Bloom. Okay, so
ah,
I'm gonna play it. So hang on, intro.
iconic.
It's
Bro,
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
don't
they
know. I don't know if
definitely.
maybe it's just me. I don't hear it.
It's doom da doom doom da 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 doom da doom doom.
yeah,
They when they were writing this subconsciously they must have had this song in like
in their head.
in their
Yeah,
brain somewhere like
Ag- Agoraphobic nosebleed ripped off Nirvana. Kurt Cobain's is gonna wake up from his grave and give him a dick that mouth resuscitation.
nice.
bruh.
um, I do from another songwriting perspective. I like how they mix. I guess a good example would be Hung from the Rising Sun, where it starts off with that dun, 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 kind of a slower mid pace, and then it just goes way faster. I do like how it does mix slower parts. I want to say it was uh yeah, I don't remember which song it was, but they do show like more. I guess it's more of that hardcore vibe. You know what? Not Madball. It reminds me more of Incendiary, where they play some slower parts. I like how they do mix slower mid pace with faster tempos. I feel like that's what gives the album even more of a rush because the fast
Mhm.
parts it's super intense. I mean, this
Yeah.
album isn't trying to be like a concept album like fucking Neutral Milk Hotels, Aeroplane Over the Sea or something. I mean, it's just trying to be
I didn't get into that. Uh,
what which one? Neutral Milk?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
I don't get the
it's
hype.
like so soft, but it's iconic for some reason. Like everybody loves that album.
I know. I don't get it. To me, it's just
Yeah, it's
it's
like
like art
soft
hole
folk.
music.
I
But
have no
it's not.
idea what that is, but it sounds funny.
It's like an
Airplane over.
indie rock album from the
Okay.
90s. It's okay. Uh, but it's not trying to be like a deep. album. It's just trying to be here's a ball of fury and energy, just trying to use your ball sack as my fucking punching bag. And, and obviously the fast part Adrian.
Adrian, look at his nuts.
Adrian, let me give you a dick to mouth resuscitation. Take a shot every time I say that.
No. You're gonna die of alcohol
Oh,
poisoning.
But the fast parts obviously it's just pure fury, but I feel like the slower parts and the more hardcore aspects just they have such you want to headbang the entire time because
Mm.
it's really oh, it's not like Pantera groove metal, but there's this groove and momentum building to them, and I
I
love that.
Yeah. No, I wanted to. I would say at times the record fits into more of that vibe than anything else. I mean it's yeah. I mean that's all
Hmm.
I have to add to that. Cause like I I'm honestly I'm still on the fence in terms of like what subgenre does this album fit into. I don't know yet. Because it takes from all over the place.
Yeah.
The only other than song structure wise, I feel like the ending could have been more grand. I mean, I love Flamingo Fluff. I love how
Yeah.
it Flamingo Snuff, how it opens with that crazy ass guitar solo and then it just pure fury. But I felt like it could have had a bit more of a grander ending. But
I mean, it
I'm
just
not
fades
really.
out, right? The album just fades out.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
normal fade, which is cool. I mean, like I said before, it's nothing super fancy. I mean, it's just trying to be a fun, crazy aggressive album. But I think I would have liked it with a more just grander ending. But other than that, I feel like to me, I know for you, Dale, you said that you had to re-listen to this because it just felt like one long song. To me, I feel like this is just like it's a good album, just has a lot of replayability because of all the different stylistic changes and all the aggression. I just feel like it's a fun 30 minutes. That's another
Yeah.
songwriting aspect, the lyrics. What the fuck?
I mean, it's like I mean, it's like half ironic, right? It's just
Well, I mean, bro, I'm gonna quote it because it's one of my favorite songs. Dick to mouth resuscitate.
yeah. I'm
Dude, opening lines. I want to see if I can do his vocals. We'll play this song in the background. I don't want a fucking face. I want to wrap my dick around your throat and choke you. It's
it's
just the most random ass lyrics.
I kind of like that though. It's just being, you know, it's just like,
They're not serious. They're tongue in
yeah,
cheek.
yeah. It's like
There's
fucking why
Yeah.
not?
There's even on a question of integrity, he says, "Do you want to talk to me about Pig Destroyer? I smoke crack with a fucking cop. You want to
Yes,
see
yes.
A and B live? We'll
I
take the
thought,
deposit and just not show up. Send DJ Nevermind and a couple of sluts lap dances, sucking dick as the Honky Reduction 10-inch spins, which is their
What the?
debut album." It's like, what the hell are you
Oh
I
talking
my
thought
about?
god.
they're like self-aware about what they're doing, right? I mean, it's so
Yeah.
awesome. It's just like they could just make fun of themselves. I mean,
There's
that's great.
there's another one. Uh, Time Lord 2 paradoxal reaction where he says agoraphobos, one dimension hatros, and he's just and then he's talking about I traveled in time to kill an unborn Christ, Nocturnus AD, which was referring to like Nocturnus's debut album that I own, kicks ass. It's just the most it's talking about everything and nothing at the same time, and I'm not looking for deep subject matter
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
things like uh fucking flamingo snuff. I'm not expecting huge crazy deep concepts, but they do bring up some interesting lyrics with white on white crime. I feel like I don't know, just some of the detail they give, and just talking about in a white man's world, pointless, cold, and cruel, we start our day enslaved and end our day depraved, and it's like within all this craziness, it's kind of just like getting political now. What the fuck? And I feel another strong one, which I don't know what angle they're going from, but have the one where it's what's it called? First National Stem and Cell Clone.
Mhm.
I don't know if you read the lyrics where it's talking about in a past life I was just a back alley abortion, stem cells collected on a coat hanger, tossed in the trash bin. Like they talk about how taking dead fetuses and then using the stem cells as like kind of a health regeneration method, which they it has been in the talk in the past, not with this band, but just in society in general. But then they just talking about abortion now, a brand new industry, stem cells collected and sold, and it's just I have no clue what their angle is.
Yeah.
I think they
It's
just.
just so
How it's like
crazy.
shock value, and also they're having a bit of fun here. I mean,
Hmm.
I
like
think
that's
it
pretty
sounds
much
like
their
they just
vibe.
like random topic generator, and then whatever shows up, like they write about. That's what it sounds like. Like I don't understand the lyrics when I'm listening to songs or like when the singer's singing. To me, again, it's just another melody line. Like that's just
Mhm.
how I listen to songs. So This is like, the first time I'm hearing what the actual lyrics are, and I don't know. It sounds pretty random and funny.
It does.
Yeah.
There's one. Hold on. There's another here. I just found another funny jizz on the thinking
Oh
machine. Like,
jeez.
what am I supposed to say to that?
Drum machine, no.
Jizz on the drum machine.
They're like, how do we make this go faster? 400 BPM.
Let's fucking
Yeah,
turn, and then it's
honestly.
just like, let's get it, turn it
Like
up.
is in the drum machine to get it to go faster.
Like
Bruh.
for the lyrics, I'm not expecting a huge crazy explanation. And I know it's not the best songwriting. It's not like super deep and whatever, but it's just like I said before, it's just a fun time. That's what I had with it. Performance wise, I feel like these guys are. You guys mentioned that. I know Diego did. I don't know if you did, John. That these guys are playing very technical. That's what the
It
word
is,
technical was thrown around.
Yeah.
In which instrument do you feel like showed the most technicality?
oh my god, I mean, either the drums or the guitar. I guess it all depends. I feel like the drums are kind of like recopying what the riffs are too in its own way. Like they kind of play along to it, right? It's because it's not just
Yeah.
like going out throughout the whole song. So kind of all depends. Um, fuck. I mean, in terms of that, I think everybody on this album shines, which I
Yeah.
think is so good. Like,
Hmm.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to add a lot of these songs are indeed, they're like 1 minute, some are a bit more and all this stuff. But I feel like the songs for me, like sometimes there's a lot of ideas and riffs within a song, and like a song that's 1 minute feels like it's like way longer just because there's so many things in it, and it's like so. That's what I noticed about it too.
Yeah.
uh, what
Yeah.
about you,
I
Diego?
mean, like there's like the drumming is just like fantastic throughout the whole album, especially in those little sections. Like it's like blasting like throughout the whole time, and then you get those sections of like relief where you're just like, and you're just like fucking headbanging like that. And there's in dick to mouth resuscitation. There's in towards the end of that song, there's like this thing that he does with like the ride cymbal, and like the bell is very prominent throughout the whole album, and I like appreciate the bell use. Like it's used appropriately throughout the whole album. Like it's not overused, it's not underused. It's just used the right amount of times. And there's in that section specifically, he's on the crash for a while, and then he switches to the bell. I'm saying he, but it's a drum machine.
He the
Yeah,
machine.
yeah. I'm saying
That's
yeah.
every single time you see he like use the pronoun for it. I'm like, just say it.
Whatever.
Keep in mind, I mean,
Yeah.
it or he. could literally do it could do whatever beat you make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you could play whatever you want
yeah,
on it as long as it's in time and it makes sense. It's like it could do
whatever.
every single beat in the world
At the
essentially.
same
Like
time.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean if yeah, like would be
Yeah.
great. But
But
it's I mean, I've tried to do this like at home. It's so hard to get a good drum beat by hand with like
Really?
your laptop or yeah, I mean for me yo, it's fucking hard. So when I heard this album and I heard that the drums were like all fake, I was like, who
what?
is like what like fucking mental case thought it was a good idea to do this? But it turned out really well. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like so good. I'm like, oh my god. Like
Yeah.
I like how the guitar riffs are there's some really catchy ones, especially on I want to I'm fuck I don't I think it was Question of Integrity. I want to say it was that or Time Lord 2, or it might have been White on White Crime. I forgot, but it just reeks of just pure hardcore, and I love that. It's also on the opening song Agorapocalypse. Now I love the and then wow, wow. I love.
three.
I know they don't play a lot of solos on the song, but when they do, they're so heavenly, man. It's just pure. It's not even just like, oh, it's so technically played. Like, it's not like
Yeah, that's yeah.
Obscura by Gorguts, but it's just pure, just like, yes, give me the intensity. I love it's pure. The guitars just show pure intensity, and also the bass. I love how it's not just like in the background. I love how I don't know if you guys like felt the same way, but especially on Time Lord 1, I love the rattle in it, and I love
Yeah,
how it just there is it does kind of push, and there is a momentum. What did you guys feel about the bass? Was that like the
it's a
instrument you
dirty
guys?
bass.
It's a dirty bass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
a
a
great way.
voivod bass. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's very like
Yeah. That's a great way to describe it. The bass, I found in certain tracks that it was a bit loud. Especially on Time Lord 2, I found that it was a bit loud, and a couple other songs. I'm not gonna go through it, but other times like I found like it was okay, but it was like the whole every instrument is like just loud on this album. So
Uh, Actually, well, I'm not gonna bring up production just yet, but I just what are you laughing at? It wasn't that. Oh my shit, my knees there.
knee reveal.
Knee reveal. Well, there's already a picture of me with my toes. No,
yo that thing.
that's such a dirty picture. OnlyFans. Like, um, what was I gonna say? Well, I know, John. You said you couldn't pick, and you said Diego. The vocals were your least favorite, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you feel there's any parts where like the vocals you like
I mean,
the vocals you liked or?
there's some parts where like they go bleh, like I fuck like that to me, yeah. Like that's just hilarious to me. I just laugh at that every time when they go bleh. But other than that, it's just like just screaming, into the microphone like somebody's being strangled. And yeah, like I can listen to that up to a certain extent, but for 30 minutes, like it's a bit much.
Till what song did you feel like it became too much?
But I would say I don't know by like the fourth or fifth song, like 8 minutes in, 10 minutes in, I would say like okay, it's
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit of a headache now, you know.
yeah.
I just like the contrast of the hardcore shouts and the screams. Uh, I th- as much as I did like the male vocalist, I believe his name's Randall. I did like Cats more just because I do like that more ferocity. And the fact that she got her own song on for well, I think she sung a majority of Trauma Queen, but First National Stem Cell and Clone. I love how she got her own part, and also the riffing on there, the dun, it kind of reminds me of metalcore, but without just like I don't imagine just emo haired
Yeah, yeah.
losers just crab coring like the whole time. Uh,
I hate
I
that
just
shit.
I know
Crabcore.
it just sounds like chugging. That sounds fucking intense. Um, I guess now we can bring up production. I feel like there's not much to say about production.
Yeah.
It's just it's everything's balanced. Um, yeah, everything's balanced. It sounds raw without just sounding like shitty lo-fi '90s second wave black metal,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sound overproduced like a lot of tech death. I did find though, maybe you guys might not agree, but I play this on my stereo, my CD player, and in my car. I found that if you play it too loud, it just sounds way too muffled. So I had to turn it down to
Hmm.
like,
I
and I
can
was kind of
understand.
yeah, because on Agorapocalypse, all the that fade in, for example, at one point it just sounded way too cluttered and just well, what's going
Yeah.
on? And I was like, I know it's not doing that. I've heard the song before. It doesn't do that. So I had to turn it down, and I was like, especially for this album, this is not the album that you want to like turn down for. You want to just crank the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
Other than that, but I mean, everything was balanced, everything was perfect. Nothing. I know, Diego, you said it's the bass was too loud in some
And
songs.
some songs like
You said
yeah,
Time
certain
Lord
song.
1.
Yeah, Time Lord 1 and a few other songs. I'm like lost in my notes right now. I was just like 13 songs of just like notes.
John, did you have anything to say about production?
And here's the thing, when it comes to that, I'm super nitpicky about that kind of shit. Even though I listen to shit that's recorded like with my phone and I enjoy that, I'm
With a
still like
potato.
super nitpicky about what I like and what I don't like, especially with these kinds of bands. Um, but I have to say, this production, for me, I guess it's like an A plus. Like it just, I just love the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Just there isn't an issue with it. I mean, it's just done really well. I love it, and I listen to horse shit. Like I listen to like
Yeah.
phone recordings,
Recorded in a fucking cave.
phone recordings to make them sound better. So like, I kind of have a bit of an idea about how to mix and record.
Mhm.
Like obviously, I'm not right, whatever, but like I could tell that they spent a lot of time on this. Like they must have just like lost their minds to make this thing sound good. I mean, I'm sure they did, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just great, and it's like what makes it better is that I wasn't like I went into this album with the expectation that it was just like half a minute songs for 30 minutes with just
Yeah.
like no production value. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy that there's like life in like within these songs and there's heart and stuff and it's like really funny too. So I don't know.
The lyrics,
Yeah.
especially. So I guess we can say overall what our thoughts and our three favorite least and one least favorite,
Yeah.
or whatever you guys feel.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go first.
John, you want to go?
Okay. All right. Well, I have a final score for this already,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't. I do not have a least favorite song on this, but I do have a favorite song on this. I couldn't think of a least favorite one because I haven't spent enough time with this album yet. I do know that I enjoy it, but my favorite song right now is Ex Cop, which is one of the last ones, and it's like 1 minute long. And I love that song so much because it kind of represents what the whole album is into one song, in my opinion. For me, the song doesn't feel like it's 1 minute because there's just so much packed into it, and it's just fucking awesome. Um, like I said, I do not have a least favorite one right now, and I can't really choose. Um, but to give a final score, I would give it a higher score, but it's only because I haven't spent a lot of time with it yet. But
Hmm.
I'm I'm feeling like an 8.5 on this, so almost a 9. But I feel like a 9 is just way too much. So I'm giving it an 8.5. because I think in terms of what it's trying to do, I think it does it very well, and that's about it. I mean, it's just I don't even know what to put this album in again. It's kind of like it's almost like a mix of the kinds of heavy bands that I like, kind of all shoved into one, which I kind of like, and it's really funny too, and like it's self-aware. So that's
Yeah.
like more points for me. So I'm giving it like an 8.5 on 10. It's just a solid record for me.
And you, Diego?
For me, my favorite part on this whole album, my favorite song is first National Stem Cell and Clone. There's a part,
Yeah.
there's a part in that song where it's just the kick drum and there's the riff that's going, and that's like how to build hype 101. That's like that to me was like, oh, now we're getting somewhere. Where are we going with this? Where are we going? And then the song ends after that. They do whatever, and then the song just ends. But I really really like that part, and that was probably my favorite. Uh, Least favorite. I put the second song. I put Time Lord 1 as my least favorite. I give it a 5 out of 10. I don't know why. I don't even remember what it sounds like. Oh yeah, because
It's the
this is
bass.
this is the song that I kept tuning out to. Like I listened to the first song, and then there was that 16th note hi hat intro with the bass drum, with the bass riff, and then after that, like I was like, okay, now I want to go do my thing, and like I kept like I it happened like 3 4 times, or like again I tuned out again. What the fuck? Yeah, go back. Okay, do my thing. What the fuck just happened? Now we're back here again. And then I was stuck like in a loop. And I kept having to listen to this song. So because I had to listen to this song more than once or more than I needed to, I gave it the lowest score. So
Yeah.
I gave it a 5 out of 10 for this song. Uh, my favorite song, the first national, forget what the fuck the song is called, but I gave it an eight and a
First,
half. That's the highest rating I gave it. And then the rest, I like gave a bunch of sevens out, 7.5s everywhere, because I appreciate like the skill and the technicality it takes to produce something like that. So that's why I didn't give it a 6. I gave it or an 8. I just gave it a 7 because it's good, you know. So overall, I gave it a 7.3. Oh, it's backwards, but whatever.
No, no.
7.3214.
you're so
28571.
specific with your
That's
scores. It's
solid though, right?
ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's good because you don't.
7.3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What were you gonna say? Cause I don't.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's because you don't listen to bands like this a lot of the time, so
Yeah.
it's like for you to give it a 7. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like fucking top-notch stuff.
Yeah. It's
Would
it's
you be
average.
would you be considered like listening to more bands like this, or is this just like a one-time deal?
No, it's a one-time thing, man.
Nah.
It's a one. Like it's too
Ah, okay.
much. I would be okay with listening to one or two songs of grindcore, but like
Yeah,
another whole album that's like an hour long, forget it, man. Like it's just information overload and this
yeah,
wall of sound that just and it's
yeah.
it's
Oh
too
wait,
much for me at a certain point.
yeah,
An hour long. I think you're overestimating the skills of
Whatever.
grindcore
I,
bands.
I don't
1 hour.
again. I don't
Wait, but
know.
I wanted to ask though, like about I was how about if you were to go see a live show with this
A
kind of
live
stuff?
show?
Like, would you go to
Uh,
one?
I don't know. I'd have to
Because the
experience it.
dynamic of live and CD is
Yeah.
way different.
I remember
Mhm.
going to heavy MTL before COVID hit or whatever, like the last one, and there was a few bands that were like before the main event. It was the last show that Slayer played in Montreal, so it was that one. And there was a few bands like beforehand, like they were playing in the afternoon. And I remember there was this one band that was just like doing pig, like growls. That it was just making like pig sounds into the microphone. And I was like,
Was it
what?
the Spiced Icon?
I have no idea what it was. But I just remember this guy walking on stage. It was like, like the
Nice.
whole time. Yeah, like the whole time. And I was like, oh my god, is one of these people gonna get off because I can't fucking listen to this anymore. Like
Yeah.
one song was okay, like this is interesting, but like I can't listen to another 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Dude, if I chose I forgot what the album was called, but like the album by Amputated with the song Slam Pigs on it, you would probably give it like a 2 because it's all pig noises. Like swear to God.
Shit, yo. I wouldn't be
Um,
able to enjoy that too. Like, I mean, is that all it is?
I mean, yeah, from
there's some good riffs.
that live show that I saw, it was just like the whole song. It was like like
Yeah.
that's what it was the whole time.
It has to have
I think you
soul
saw
and meat.
Despised Icon.
Like this
Okay.
album here has, meat in it.
Yeah, yeah. At least there's some variation. It's like there's some
Yeah.
like good sections that you can like, like you can like go like that too. It's not just the whole time. Yeah.
Holy sh.
So you,
Anyway,
Justin.
go Justin.
I mean, shit, man. I'm gushing all over this album, man. I love.
Gushers.
I don't want to sound biased. Gushers. I don't want to sound like I'm biased because I already like the band, but I mean, I do acknowledge there are some flaws, but this album is just mainly a good time, a good 30-minute, um, just go balls out, have fun album.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I had that the whole time. Favorite songs, it'd have to be, I think my number one would be Agorapocalypse Now. A close second would be First National Stem and Clone. First National Stem Cell and Clone. Then third would have to be White on White Crime. Close third to that would be Hung from the Rising Sun. If I had to choose one that was my least favorite, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not one that I remember all too much. It's basically default because I don't remember as much, but I remember enjoying it. Was Drug or Not Jug Fuck. um,
Juggernaut.
Yeah, a
I
classic.
feel giving this because I really enjoy this album. Like I really do. I was gonna give it an 8, but I think after weeks and weeks of listening to this album, I'm like 7.5 would be more accurate because it's not. I mean, if I give it an 8, it's not like so like creative and shit, but it does have a lot of diversity and shit, and it's just fun. 7.5 seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I
Cool.
feel that that's a good way to end it.
Close the
I'm
book.
too
Trans.
generous, I think, when it comes
It's
to the
time.
album scores. I think
This next topic is called Moments When Reality Felt Like a Dream.
Nah, I don't know about you guys, but it actually is I forgot what it's called, but there is somewhat of like, I'm not talking about the disorder that it is, but it is kind of like when you disassociate. I think that's what it is. There is like a special disorder for that when you're just not connected to reality as much. That's its own separate thing. Have you guys ever just felt like, have you ever had to ask yourself, am I dreaming? Like is this real? And then you have to like like kind of pinch yourself and just say, oh, okay, well, I guess this is. Like there's certain moments, especially times where I feel nostalgic,
yeah.
that I feel like I'm like, this feels like I'm in a dream. Like what's that moment for you guys?
Um, I have a few stories in mind, but I'm not sure if this one counts. It's not so much. It felt like a dream. I mean, I guess it felt like a dream. It felt like what was happening to me wasn't real, but it actually was happening to me.
I think that's more the thing I was aiming for. It just didn't
Okay.
feel
Yeah.
real. That's what I was aiming for.
So this took place during an SFM show. It was an open mic in 2018, and we used to go to this open mic place like once a week, and it got to the point where we went there so much, and then on their website they said like no open mic, or it was like no live bands for open mic
Oh
because
shit.
come in
What?
with like all it. I'm not sure if like we caused that or not, but
Oh
Imagine.
my god.
I mean, I don't think so, but it kind of all went in at the like same
Yeah.
year or whatever, like same time. Okay, so this was like our third time doing the open mic, or maybe our second time, and we went on at like maybe 11:30 at night. No, it was almost 1 in the morning
Oh
because
wow.
Holy
there
shit.
was a group before us that probably went on at like 9:30, 10, and they were rehearsing their set for another show they had maybe a few days after. So we had to wait, right? So
Yeah.
we waited with like, all our shit, and then we just watched them play. And then so now it's like really late, okay? And I'm tired and I'm like, fuck, like I just want to go home or whatever. I swear to God, I get a text from my ex as I'm about to go on stage, a paragraph long, and I
Oh.
didn't read it, but I knew what it was.
Oh.
We all know what that was. So that was definitely a moment where it felt like it wasn't real. It's like, okay, well, great. Now I have this information that's in my head, and now I have to play our set, and it's late,
Oh.
it's tired, and not only that, we had to walk to bring our equipment back. After the show, it's like fucking 1:30, and there's like ice too, and it was like uphill.
Ugh.
Add insult to injury. Like,
Yeah, it just the whole night felt completely unreal, and then it's like was in bed, and I'm like, wow, like I got like we just went through all this shit. I'm dumped. Like I got dumped. It's so weird too because like I saw the text and then we called once I like packed all my stuff. Like fucking, I called her because
Yeah.
I'm like
The
want
fuck's
to know.
happening? Yeah.
Definitely felt like a dream or some
Dude,
because
man.
it was just
a
so much.
nightmare, man.
Yeah, it was just like so much shit into like a short amount of time, and it was just like
There's one
really
thing
nice.
after
Did
the
it
next. Yeah.
Yeah.
did it impact your set?
No, no,
Okay.
it didn't even hit me then, because
Yeah,
it was
because you
just like
weren't thinking
so
about it.
brand new. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
once you
I
were in
read it.
bed.
Yeah, like I remember being fucking on stage with my shit on, and I just read a bit of it, and then I just put my phone in my pocket. It's like, all right, let's go play.
We're not dealing with this now.
Yeah, yeah,
No. Fuck,
Out
man.
of all the moments, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have been like fucking 5 people there watching us. I mean, so that just made it sadder.
Fuck.
what
Uh,
about you, D?
for me, it's a bit more positive, but I guess like when I was younger, when I saw Metallica for the first time,
Mm,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, it's Metallica! Am I dreaming? This is real!" It was like in 2014, and like they're like this small on stage because they're so far back, and they're like this small.
Heavy MTL.
Yeah, at Heavy MTL. Uh, and it was a by request show too that they were doing,
aw,
and yeah, it was just surreal, man. That whole time, because it was the first time I saw them, and it was just, well, the song is like in front of me right now, because usually you just
yeah,
listen to it like in your headphones, and you can only capture it so much, but once it's live, it's like it's an
That's a
experience,
moment.
yeah. So that's like to me, I guess, was like a moment where I felt like I was dreaming, but it was actually real.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Prior to seeing them, how long were you a fan of them?
Oh, I was like, cause I went when I was 15. So I think like as soon as I started high school, I started listening to them. So I was like in grade 8, so sec 2, and yeah, and then I saw them like a year later or a year or two later. Yeah, with my mom. It was awesome.
That's sick, man.
Oh wait,
That's
sorry. I wanted. Did they play
And
like an unknown kind of song from like the first
no,
4 albums, or?
no, they played like
what? Ah.
they played all their hits. They were gonna play Fight Fire with Fire, but because it was you vote for one song, and it was between Fuel, the Four Horsemen, and Fight Fire with Fire. And the Four
Oh,
Horsemen was played
come on,
because it
man.
was like voted like the most times.
Yeah,
But Fight Fire for Fire was catching up, and like it was gonna pass. It had it been like another 20 minutes, but no, they stopped it and like, okay, we're gonna play the Four Horsemen now.
Mm.
and
Did they
like that was
play
it.
the like whole song
No, and
or
I
just
was pissed about that too because as soon as the song
Uh,
ended, I was like, what the fuck? They missed the whole part of the song. Like, where's the middle section? That's
yeah?
like
Because I
well,
noticed
what's the middle section?
they don't play the
the
full song
breakdown.
now.
Yeah.
The do 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 do.
Why
Anyways,
would they not do that?
to save
Because
time.
it's long, I guess.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
save time to play more songs. Yeah.
How do you request the song? Is it like they go in the crowd and whichever, if the crowd screams louder, they pick
No,
that
no,
song, or is it
no,
all
no, no.
online?
It
Like
was
how?
online. You voted on your phone, and then they had like the poll up on the giant screen, and you
Oh,
can
it's so
see how
bad.
many people voted. Yeah.
Did they play Saint Anger?
No, 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 no,
Oh, phew.
no. They played Saint Anger at a by request show, and I think it was like Sweden or something, one of those countries. And
Shit.
it was requested to play Saint Anger, and they
Same.
had
You
to
must have been
play
like,
it.
really?
Yeah, I remember there was one show where there was no Ride the Lightning, and Kirk in the back, he was like pissed that there was no Ride the Lightning being played that whole time. And he's like, "How the
Well, it's like one
fuck?"
of the best songs.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't request Ride the Lightning. How the fuck did they not request that? And like, he was just pissed all the time.
Yeah.
What song did they choose instead of
I
Ride?
forget, I forget. But I just remember he was pissed that like that wasn't being played.
Mm.
But yeah, that was the moment when I saw Metallica for the first time. That was when moment felt like a dream.
Solid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And how about you, Justin?
I feel like we have three different spectrums. John's was like fucking negative. Diego's was really positive. Mine is just like it's neutral. It wasn't like a bad or good moment. It was just so neutral. This was when I was working at I'm not gonna say the specific city, but it was in Longueuil, like in the South Shore for sure. So
Okay.
that's a big region.
Yeah.
And I was working at a high school doing 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then I go home. So it's 10 hours and I'd get Friday off. And for some reason I was playing an album by this one man DSBM band called Sadness, and I bought their album Leave because I heard it on YouTube, and I was like, it's very atmospheric. I don't know if you remember, Diego, we actually played a sample of it for our pilot episode.
Oh, we did? No, I don't remember.
No, we played just a sample, and it's really atmospheric, a lot of reverb. And I don't know if it happens with you guys. There's sometimes where songs bring in like a memory or just puts you in that moment. Has that ever happened to you
Uh,
guys?
where a song puts you in a moment. Uh,
Like in a trance almost.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like you have certain songs that you associate certain memories with. It's like, oh yeah, I remember listening to this when I don't know, when I went to Italy. It's like, oh yeah, I remember listening to that on the beach or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
associate certain things, right?
yeah.
Just give me 1 second.
One. Time's up.
All right, that's all I needed, bitch.
Nice.
So I'm gonna say it was most likely a Thursday. It was my last day because Friday I had off, and I was playing this album. It's 5 songs, but it's 56 minutes, and the last song is called what I'm looking, Uncle. Oh fuck! Anyone that speaks Hispanic, I'm so sorry. I'm butchering this. Uncle Catarnos. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Oh my
Uncle
god.
Tarnos. There we go. And it's like it's 22 minutes and 50 seconds. It's a long song. And to get home, I had to go under the bridge. That like it's the bridge that goes under the water.
Uh-huh.
And normally it's like, especially at night, it takes like a minute to cross the other side. But for some reason, this song was playing and it was in I think the mid part, and there was this huge, beautiful, lush, reverbed, atmospheric section, and I'm driving. and it put me in like, it kind of feels like one of those things where it's like a moment in a movie where you're like, I'm in a movie, or it's like those Naruto animated music videos that they play a song and then it matches the setting or some shit. Like, it felt like that. It matched the setting where my partner, he sped off and I was the only person in there. So it was a lonely, I was the only car in that tunnel, and I was lonely in there, and that song with that ambient part was playing. Remember how I said it felt like it's usually a minute to
Yeah.
it felt like the tunnel was never ending, and just it felt like it took 5 minutes to do that whole tunnel. Granted, I was probably going the speed limit of 80, but just something about that. I even, as I'm driving, I had to like shake myself, and I'm like, okay, no, this is actually happening. What the fuck is going on? And it was just then I exited the site, and then I was like, I don't know if I was dreaming or I just like passed the fuck out, but I was thinking the whole time, this would be an interesting shot in a movie. Like, yeah.
That's cool. I mean, that sounds like very like zen, like a zen
Yeah.
moment that you had while you were driving. You were just like lost in like your surroundings and like in your senses and everything, and like it
What
sounds
helped
pretty
propel
cool.
that? What helped propel that? I think was just the fact there was no one else on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Those are a few other. I don't know if you guys can relate, but a few other things I feel like I'm in a dream when I leave a movie theater late at
Yeah.
night, and when I'm the only person on the road. It feels like everyone was just wiped off the earth. Like everyone was taken in the rapture, and you're just the last person on earth, and you're just like, oh my god, this it feels like a ghost town. Like, I don't know. I live for those moments just for the sole reason that it brings you into a certain place and really makes you, it really not develops but somewhat makes you realize some of the emotions that you can have within these like trance like states.
Mhm.
Like, I know for like with Diego, it must have been the happiest fucking time. For me, it was just
Yeah.
mysterious. John, I feel bad for you for yours.
Oh, dude, don't worry
No.
about it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Seriously, guys, like it's not that bad. It's just
So let's do that. Let's do bands we used to hate but now love. Who wants to go first?
I'll let you guys go first. I feel like I've been talking way too much, so I'll let you
No,
guys go
no. We each
first.
had our time. We had our time.
yeah.
It's even.
I could
John.
go first, I
Yeah,
guess.
John, you go first.
It was Rush, which is a bit of
Rush.
Oh wow.
like
Wow.
it's like ironic because I really love them, but when I first got into them or when I first heard them, I didn't like it for the same reason that a lot of people who don't like them. It's just they hate the voice, and that was my thing at first. I didn't really like them because at that time when I was 13 or 14, I was only like I only enjoyed the AC/DC albums with Bon Scott
Mm,
and like some other bands, I guess. But like that's all I really liked. So a band like Rush that threw in all this other shit, I didn't really. Maybe I was too young or something. I don't know, but yeah. So
what
that's yeah. No, go.
what
Sorry.
made it start clicking for you?
Well, I don't know actually. My sister had like a field trip thing for her team, a sports team thing, and we went out of town for 2 weeks. And I was experimenting with the bands I liked at the time, so I must have been 14 or 15. And I had this YouTube to MP3 app on my phone, and I was like, let me try Rush, you know? So I just downloaded like 5 albums and then I just listened to it on the car ride there and going, and then I just fell in love with
cool.
everything,
No,
hemispheres, signals, Farewell to Kings, and then I just understood it a year after or so, or maybe 2 years after that.
the
Yeah.
YouTube to MP3 days. I still
Yeah,
use that
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. But now you can't find those apps now. They're gone.
Yeah,
Well,
they're all
there's
the
there's a few. You might be able to, find one or two, but
yeah, but they're all
back in those
scams.
days,
Yeah,
like 6, 7 years ago or whatever, it was just like everywhere.
yeah.
There was an app I used to use where you just download like the YouTube video and you could play it on your phone, and that's
Yes,
how I'd
yes, yes.
listen to. And I couldn't close the video because if it was on a video, it'd lock the phone. So I'd
Ah,
have to play with the music video or like the lyric video, or they would show an edgy picture with the song, and I'd
yeah,
be like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, this has to be open. I gotta hide my phone now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
You
yes.
just put it in your pocket or something. Yeah, yeah.
So Diego, what
Uh,
was a band that you hated, and what made him click for you later
uh.
on?
So this is a bit interesting, right? Because when I was a
Mhm.
kid, uh, I used to really like Nickelback, right? As a kid, I used to really,
Why?
really,
Track, Nickelback. Sorry.
yeah. But like before they were shit. Like up until Dark Horse, I feel like that's when they peaked, and then everything after Dark Horse, the album, is
I'm
just
good.
like shit. All the new shit. But everything before that, like songs like Too Bad and like Animals, like all that shit, like that's like now it's nostalgic to me, and I go back listening to them, and like there was a period of time, like I guess in high school, where like, oh, this is not cool. I need to fit in with society because everybody else hates them, so I have to hate them. And then now, as like as I get older, I'm like, oh, fuck what those people said. No, I fucking liked this when I was a kid, and now I guess it's like kind of a guilty pleasure for me. So
No, there's no guilty pleasures.
yeah,
I don't believe in that. If you like a song, you like a song.
yeah.
Like
That's it.
Diego gave me like this really dirty look
Of what?
When?
because on my Spotify, I was playing like one of the songs from "Thank You Next" by Ariana Grande, and he said "For Shame," and I was like, "Bro, that's not fair. I have a Goat Penis album there too." He's like, "Okay,
It
I'll
cancels
let
out.
you." Yeah, it counts as out. It's like Pedmass. You got to do the
Yeah.
canceling.
Because on Spotify, on the laptop, you could see who's uh who's listening to what at like any given time. And I saw Joseph was listening to Ariana Grande. I was like, "How could you? You're a
Damn.
traitor!"
Dude,
Damn.
there was once at work during my lunch break, I was listening to Goat Penis, and he just texts me, interesting name, Goat Penis. And I was like, how did
Nice.
you see? And I was like, you're stalking me.
Wait, you're able to see who people listen to?
Yeah,
If you
on
follow
the
them.
computer, if you
Oh,
follow
okay,
your
okay.
friends, you could see who's listening to what
Ah,
on the side. Yeah, it says, and then I take a picture. I'm like, "Oh, nice song."
what are you listening to there? Hmm?
Hmm.
Goat Penis.
What are you
Hmm.
listening?
So
Hey.
for you, like, do you actually like Nickelback, or it's just those
Yeah, yeah,
few
no,
that album?
now I like them. Like I just listen. Like if it comes on, like I'll listen to it. Like I won't skip it. But it has to be the older shit, like not the new shit. The new shit I'll skip.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you, John? What's a band that you used to hate but now you love?
He said
Oh,
Rush.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Rush.
Rush. Justin. Yeah, it's your turn.
Your turn.
I'm trying to see which band. There's like two of them I have in mind, but recently it's been Magruder Grind.
The
I didn't
what?
care for
What?
Wait,
Magruder Grind.
I
It's
got.
another like power violence grindcore band. I just thought they were just shit. I didn't like the vocals, and then recently I was like, "Oh, that album cover's striking. It's yellow, just like this one horror album. Okay, I'll listen to it." And then I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then I found out they haven't put out an album in forever. But one that's just like totally different freaking turn is Pig Destroyer.
Ah,
Like I said before, I could not stand grindcore. I didn't like anything extreme. No death metal, no black metal, grindcore, no fucking. I don't know if I said deathcore, but deathcore is there, death metal. Anything just with screams, I just like, I don't want anything to do with. I was like, what was my favorite band at the time? It was like fucking Pantera, I think. It was Nirvana. It was Nirvana, honestly.
mm.
And
Pantera.
Sabbath. Like,
The joke.
oh no, dude.
And
Can
glass.
someone name me a metal? Pantera? Dude, I like
It gets me every time.
before I said what age I was when I said that joke. John said, "Oh, that's terrible."
It's like those memes you find from like 9 years ago or something. Like Pantera's metal. But like if you're like in high school or whatever,
Yeah.
then then it passes.
I should have known better. It's kind of like to me, it's kind of like you should know not to smoke cigarettes. It's like you should know not to make shitty metal jokes that no one listens to. Like
That's all right.
it's known as like a seminal grind album is Prowler in the Yard, which is like their I guess technically their second album. Uh yeah, because I guess their first was Explosions in Ward 6 then. Yeah. Then I guess technically their second would be Prowler in the Yard. And it starts I was scared of that album because the
Yeah,
intro
me too.
starts with oh what?
No, same.
Oh you too?
I was
Yeah.
fucking horrified.
That
It's one of
intro.
the only albums when I was scared just looking at the cover, and I tried to read about every song and trying to like discover how the album goes from song to song and trying to piece together what it's. Dude, yeah, sorry, go, but like it's a
No, I know I
scary
agree
record.
100%.
It's just
But just because
damn.
the intro it starts with a text to speech thing and it says this really gruesome story and then boom instantly it's just blast beats and it was just it's way too intense and I was like I was scared and I was like X
Mm.
and then I got into then I heard that one I heard Agorapocalypse now from Agoraphobic and I was like okay all right. Few months later, I gave it a chance, and I was like, I heard off their album Book Burner, Pig Destroyer's song. What's it called? I think it's called Burning Palm, and I was like, this is really freaking good. That reminds me of that Tool, like it reminds me of something from Tool where they have like some fire coming out, some pretentious
Yeah.
shit. So then I was like, you know what? I like that song. I'll just revisit Prowler in the Yard. Right now, it's my second favorite album of all time. Like that's just
Wow.
what a I hate this. It's noise to all I listen to is noise now. It just goes to show like over time you
Yeah.
do develop like different tastes. You're not always gonna be the same person. Yeah. The best album of 2020 was Satan is King by Antichrist Demon Core. That's just I've been saving that for
Oh,
months now. There we go.
I have my 2020 album, but it's a pop album. It's not even a metal album.
What is it?
Which
All right,
one?
let's say that. Okay, best album of 2020. Go, Justin.
You go, Joe.
Uh, really, I didn't listen to much music of 2020. The album I had the best time with though, Satan is King by Antichrist Demon Core. Grindcore, hardcore, pure intensity. It's like 20 minutes. Go support that fucking band. They're awesome.
My
John.
pick is Something to Lose.
By who?
His name is Better Person. I'm not sure if you
Better
could read.
person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I discovered him right after high school. He put out this EP called It's Only You. And I was just blown away. It sounds like it's from the 80s, I guess. Like the production is just like so it's just like all magic sauce, okay? This
Magic
Magic
guy,
sauce.
sauce.
this guy, he like hibernates for fucking 4 years, okay?
Yeah.
And he comes out with a pretty solid record. And to be honest, there weren't a lot of albums that I listened to that came out this year that I really enjoyed, but this
Me
was
neither.
certainly the best one that I heard. So to definitely give it to that. Like if you like that kind of shit. I mean, if not, then you'll just hate it. But it's just like love songs and all that kind of bullshit. Hearts on Fire.
Is it like very atmospheric or is it like
Oh yeah,
yeah? Oh, okay.
yes,
What
yes,
is it
yes.
called? The album?
Something to Lose by
To
Better
Okay.
Person.
lose.
Something to
I'll
Lose.
check that out. I'll check that out after.
It's
Diego, what was your?
sorry,
Oh,
go.
no, no. So my mistake. I apologize.
No,
No.
I was gonna say it's good when you're feeling sad and you need a friend that isn't real.
Better help. Um, for me, I guess the best album of 2020. I don't really listen to albums, so the only thing that I can say is Metallica S&M 2.
I mean, that
It
counts.
came out in 2020. Yeah, it came out in August of 2020. So yeah, I mean it's S&M 2 is kind of like an extension of S&M 1, and like cause they just did more songs, but like it was still good. Like I enjoyed listening to it. So
Was there any main differences between other than
I guess the
the track
production,
list
because
better?
technology, yeah, it evolved over time. So yeah,
Mm.
but other than that, that's pretty much it.
I wanted to
Uh,
give an honorable mention because I made a meme for our Instagram page about like Japan, and I used this album. I tagged them in, and they actually liked it.
oh yeah.
Which also I want to say Agoraphobic Nosebleed liked the post that I tagged them in.
Oh really?
So
Wait, what?
yes, I swear to
Oh,
God,
The band that we're reviewing right now, like
they
our
searched.
I
Instagram
swear
post.
to God, I swear to God.
Yo,
It's gonna look at
no
that right.
way, that's awesome.
But it's a Japanese band called Pharmacist, and their album Medical Renditions of Grinding Decomposition. I had to pull that up and look at my phone because that's too long of a title. Really, just really, it's brutal death metal, and they just sound fucking fantastic. So, shout out to Pharmacist. Thank you for liking our post.
We don't even follow them.
Yeah, we
I'll
do.
follow them. No,
All right, we'll do it
Oh
right
shit!
now.
Oh, I thought you meant
I'll follow.
Pharmacist. Oh
Oh,
damn.
sorry.
Yeah.
Agoraphobic, bro. They like our post, so we don't even follow them.
We're legends.
Come on.
Bro,
Oh,
that's always gonna get me. The word legends. Oh
Legendary.
man. Oh guys. Alright.
this was a fun episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Alright guys, let's play the outro song. Unless you guys want to say something else. Go
Don't do
penis.
drugs. Go penis totally rocks. Drink
Rest
a
in
lot of
peace to
coffee.
the.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink water. Get sleep.
Eat 3
Get
meals a day.
vaccinated.
Get vaccinated, and
Uh,
stay cool.
Say cool. Also, rest in peace to the guy who died in goat penis. I don't remember
Oh,
who it
Wait,
was, but
what? How long ago?
it's got to be like at least 2 months now. I
holy
just I
Oh
shit.
saw that
shit!
I saw it on the metal archives, and I was like on the RIP section, and I see bands he played goat penis, and I was like, no, come on, man,
Oh.
don't do
Damn.
this to me, don't do this to me. So rest in peace to that guy. You
Rest in
made
peace,
beast
brother.
music, and we're gonna play Internal Bleeding, slam death metal from New York.
This one's gonna slam your balls.
It's gonna slam your balls.
Welcome to the slammer.
Slap chop. Vince here. Call back.
Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you if you made it this far. Leave a like, give us a follow, subscribe. You know we deserve it. We work hard, and we love you. Thank you very much.
We want 7 subs. We want 7 subs now.
7 subs.
I want 7 subs.
Get that lucky 7.
Sweet dreams and good night.
Good night and sweet dreams.
Wait. It's PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
Polaris.